Game 2 against Dredge. Sided in a bunch of angers. Opening hand, 1 red source, 1 anger. It's pretty good. I just have to find 1 other red source to make this hand truly great against the Dredge matchup. Having a clock on top of it is perfect. Having Inquisition with a black source is also very necessary for how I wanted this black-red 8-rack deck to play out. The first thing you take with the Inquisition is of course to take his Dredge enabler and hopefully stall the game long enough until I have my second red source, and then he does get a board full of prized amalgams, and like most Dredge players will just dump all of them and I can just anger them all away. And at that point, hopefully Wrenchmind and my other Inquisition will have turned to Shrieking Affliction on, and everything will go my way. This is what I envisioned when I built the black-red 8-rack deck, which I built actually quite significantly influenced by the Dredge matchups. Those prize amalgams dodging my Flaying Tendrils, because they're 3 instead of the -2, they weren't getting hit, and that's this card here was actually a big reason as to why I started splashing red in 8-rack. Dredge was everywhere back then. Faithless Looting is his only 1-drop Dredge enabler right now, so he'll throw these away with it, so that's got to be the take. Even though he has 3 Dredge enablers, it's going to be quite difficult to take those away from him unless I draw. Now there's actually is no draw that I could. I'd need second black source as well as a Thoughtseize or IOK to get both of them. Take the Cathartic Reunion because nothing else to take. I don't want to just put an amalgam in the graveyard for him or a dredger in the graveyard for him, not unless I have Surgical in hand. Hopefully he doesn't get fuck. Moto's actually screwing this up a little bit. I'll see if I can just skip ahead to that part. It's actually the second time I've tried to record this. There we go. Yeah, so he hits an Archamoeba, a Bloodghast, maybe 2 more Bloodghasts. Yeah, so he's got 3 Bloodghasts in the yard, 1 prized amalgam, and an Archamoeba. That's not looking good for me. Except that hopefully he does dump it. Actually, you know what? That is really good for me, because if he extends all the way here, and you know what? I might actually do the smart thing here and hide the fact that I have colors, so that he'll play land into. No, I didn't. I play the land anyway. It would have been smart to hide that I was on double red, because hopefully I would like him to play a land here and then put all of it on the board. But because he's completely fearless, especially since after game 1 he just laughed, you know, it wasn't even a threat to him. He just got to do whatever he wanted to do and stay completely out of range. Just go through all his triggers. And he played a Neonate. Beautiful. I love it. Nothing left. He's got 1 Bloodghast and 1 prized amalgam in the deck. Straight into the anger. This is exactly what I wanted to happen when I built this deck. And you'll see how it actually turns out is that just because of Life from the Loam, he's able to stay outside of Shrieking Affliction range indefinitely, and the game is still a loss. I've pretty much reduced him to playing nothing but Bulgari Thugs and Stinkweed Imps and other stupid little dork creatures that do practically nothing, and he's still able to avoid rack damage forever. I got him to 0, I clock him for 3 there. Right? He dredges Life from the Loam, he fills his hands to 3. Doesn't even matter if he attacks me or Lily, because I can't hurt him at this point. Play my 1 land, tick it up, Would have been nice to have a crime in the graveyard there. I could have got him for 3 again, but doesn't matter. His second life from the loam is in there. Well, both of them are in there because he cast it, right? He's slowly working through my Lily, and he's keeping his hand. Now he's at 5. Impossible to hurt this guy with just the Rax. I need a Mutavault. And Mutavault versus Dorks? Okay, great. You have 1/1 flyers, you have Death Touch, you have Trolls. I did side in Pack Rat for this matchup just as a test. I thought that maybe if I wiped his board and then went wide with Pack Rat, that things would be okay. I had to let Lily die there to protect my Pack Rat. It's my only out at this point, seeing how he just has a handful of lands and no damage coming in from Affliction. Tough choice between playing the Mutavault to pump the rat and pitching the Mutavault to make a rat token. Gotta make a rat token. I learned that in a previous game that you just make tokens. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a Lily, you play tokens. If it's Anger, you make a token. If you're in on the token plan, you're in on the token plan. So give him 2 more Dredgers. Or no, not Dredgers, sorry. They go back on the top of the library. So yeah, right back they can go if he wants them to. And just that one blocker. It was close, but in my opinion, it showcases that Anger is not good enough against Dredge. That you need some kind of specific yard hate, preferably not a spell bomb, but rather a Leyline of the Void or a Rest in Peace, because this is just because Life from the Loam just keeps him so far ahead in card advantage, useless card advantage, but out of rack range. If Shrieking Affliction had been ticking every turn after I had landed that Anger, he would have been dead long ago, and we would have gone to game 3. Instead, he ignored it, like it didn't even exist, and he ended up beating me down with nonsense, with stupid commons that just are not good cards, like Death Touch Flying on a 1/2 for 3. It's trash. He beat me to death with trash because he completely nerfed my racks. I have another video in that I'll probably pair them, that shows what happens when I get a Rest in Peace out on the battlefield, and how it took all this away on top of playing Tendrils, and it completely neutered his deck.